Hello everyone, this is Colossus and I'm back with another 5Q21 Dawn video, and today we are a 4Q question mark because it seemed to have drifted a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and tackle that and maybe play a 5Q or 4Q today and take it from there. Alright, we seem to have gotten in a game. Have a game. And let's go ahead and play. So, I have been playing a lot of the Chinese opening in my own on Twitch. I have been playing a lot of the Chinese opening as black and Niran as white, so that's what we're going to be doing today. Just simply playing a solid normal opening, and that's what I've been studying, so that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so he did play this. Normally you want to prevent the Shamari if they go ahead and get an extension, so we're going to go ahead and approach this corner. This is also an open side, so it's still following our Colossi approach. And now we're going to defend our weak group. We do have two options. We can connect or play a Tiger's Mouth. I will go ahead and, let's see, am I worried about the top side getting a Moyo? If I was, then maybe I might do this one. It's also a little bit more solid. So when in doubt, you can just connect. Since I'm not sure here, I'm going to just go for the connection. Because I'm actually not sure if I want to play the Tiger's Mouth to get this extension or not. Or if I want to just play solid. So I'm going to just play solid. Now, Mono Variations does tell us that we can't Nuki now because these three stones do have a 2-space jump. But for safety, I'm going to go ahead and make a base. It's simple and easier to use, so I'm going to do that. Another option, since he did do this instead of the 1-point jump, is I could push this a little bit. However, that will just give me some influence in the center. I think I still want my base, and I'll just maybe punish this later because these are not many points. Alright, so he's going to come in. I do want to go ahead and take this base a little bit because he is in the Chinese opening, but I do want to get some eye shape. So option A was just to do that, but since I do have a stone here, I'm going to kick. And now normally I would go high, but do I want to go low with this stone? It's hard to say. If he Nobis and I go low, he can shoulder hit, and then when I push up, he can actually jump up. It doesn't look like he can connect in one move, so I think I will go low just for a little bit of safety here. This also, because this stone's high, gives me a slide, so it's another good reason to go low. I'm not really worried about this 3-3 too much, because if he does, I can just block on this side, and if he Hanes, then I play here, and he Ataris, I Atari, and if you're having trouble following this, play it out on the board. He takes, and then I just block, and I get my points. Alright, so we'll do this. I think it'll make it easier if these stones are cut off, so I'm going to go ahead and check this, because remember, weaknesses first. So I'm going to go ahead and check this connection. And you do usually want to get on the outside as soon as possible, but if I go on the outside, it looks like my shape's going to get a little bit questionable. So I do want to make sure that I stay solid while I'm checking this connection. Alright, so he goes there, so I'm going to play solid. Defense first. Alright, and now I'm going to cut. This should make it pretty nice and easy for me to handle. Alright, so he goes here. Atari is pretty much the only move here. Is to just put him in bad shape and give me good shape. And then I'm going to stay solid with my cutting stones. Now, I am getting surrounded, so of course I do want to be checking my life and death here. So I am checking that, and it looks okay to me. It looks pretty good. He is coming out, so I can either jump right here, or I can jump right here. So I want to start thinking about the profit because I am attacking a group. I do want to think about where I want the profit to be at. I do have some weak stones, so if I jump up here and he jumps, I will have to start running away. So we'll imagine a line this way for white and a line this way for black. And it looks like it gets some area here, but it's invadable. But if I go this way, or maybe even this way, I think a 2-space is easier here. I do have 2 stones, so I should be able to jump 2-space and be a little bit quicker. And then he plays here. So I'm just imagining a Hane and connect because I want to be solid. He runs, and then I run, he runs, I defend, and he keeps running. And I think getting some influence or getting some stones over this way, so something along this route, seems a little bit more profitable. So I'm going to choose this one. I'm not really reading too far ahead. I'm only reading a couple moves here, and just imagining a bunch of lines going straight, lines of black and lines of white going down when he runs away. And for this one, I did the exact same thing. If they force you to connect, that's kind of a thank you move, so you're happy to do that. All right, and I do want to defend my points and my base, so I do want to get out here. But that's a good way to read if you're going to get thickness or profit, is just draw some lines of where you think the fight's going to go. I think that's a great way to see where the profit's going to be. Alright, now we wanted him to make a decision, and he did, so I'm going to play here. I'm playing a knight's move, so I need to check the connection. So if he plays here, I play, he plays, I play, he plays. I want to net, but it looks like I will have a little bit of trouble here. If I do that. So can I fix that? Here, Atari, and then maybe net here. Actually, it looks, no, I only have one liberty, and it looks like even if I make this trade, I only have one liberty. What can I do? This is definitely the move I want to play, but I don't think I can afford it. If I get cut, it's not good. But this one is too slow. So what to do? Tricky. This one just seems too slow. I might have to do it, though. Simply because I don't want to get cut with a weak group. I don't know. I don't know what the proper move is. So maybe just play a little bit of a slack move. I'm looking for exchanges that I can make. Yeah, I don't really see anything. Alright, so I'm just going to play for a solid move, I guess. It's going to be a little bit slack, but that's my level, and I just have to accept that. I'm just not sure how to deal with that cut. I could have checked the ladder. I forgot to check the ladder, and I should have done that. Yeah, as I assumed, it didn't work. Alright, what about this one? He goes here. Am I worried about this cut? I don't think so, because it looks like I get cut off, but he gets cut off too. And then this group's practically alive when I just push it straight out. And then he has to run, and then I'm attacking two groups. So that one is a bit okay. I could also just go here again for safety. But I do need to get some power at some point. So as soon as this cut doesn't work, I need to do something about it. I could also just play here. This is also an option. Let's play here. It's a little bit of a touch, but I might be a little too weak to go for an all-out attack. So maybe a touch is good here. Alright, so this Tiger's Mouth is Vita Point. This is a common shape. Alright, and I thought he was going to play here and I was going to block. But if he's going to do this one, then I can get this Peep, which also defends my points here. Don't forget to defend your points. That's very important. Okay, and can I Knights move now? I still can't Knights move. Okay, so let's just push from behind and then Hane. And then that cut will be a ladder, so that'll be okay. And this thickness is good profit as well as these points. That's very good profit. So I am getting profit here, and it's going a little bit like I imagined. White is getting a line here, and I'm getting a line here. So it's about what I imagined. Okay, and I can Hane here because this ladder is good for me. Now I'm going to... I don't want to leave too many cutting points. I think just being safe is good enough. Having solid thickness is pretty powerful. This is perfectly okay. I checked this earlier. Okay. This is an okay exchange for me. And now you guys get to see what I was reading. He takes, and then I block. It's the only move. If you Nobi here, it's a mistake because I just connect, and then I have a Miai to kill those stones or kill this stone. So I block. Alright, so looking at the score, if I just do some box counting, that's about 10 points right here, about 5 points right here. If I want to get greedy, I can go right here, but I actually don't mind him reducing here a little bit. It actually makes me more solid. I'm more worried about other types of invasions, like here and here. So him doing this is actually nice for me. One thing I'm worried about is this crosscut, though. So I'm debating backing off. So if I play here and he crosscuts, if I just Atari, he Ataris and connects out, and that's a disaster. So I guess just back off. Seems pretty safe to me. Alright, so now I'm going to check your connection, because now I'm solid and I've defended my points. Okay, you block. Or I block. And then I go here. This seems a little bit greedy. Yep, I think this was too greedy. I was checking his connection, and he tried to go for life in the corner, but he didn't read it out very much. So if you're going to not stay connected, you got to read that life and death. So one thing I would like to point out that I've done this game, and that I think will actually be very effective for you, is notice how, even though I really wanted to play this capping move, even though I really wanted to play this Hane, if I see something wrong with it, I'm not playing it. And that's it's a good self-discipline thing to have. It's a good self-control to have. If you know it doesn't work, or you're not supposed to do it, don't do it. Even if you think it's the right move, even if it's like you really want to do it, if it's not the right move and you can't do it, don't do it. So I actually want to just disconnect this, I think. I'm debating peeping here, but I'm not sure. This is actually a little bit tricky here, what the best move is. If I just disconnect, yeah, he dies in the corner, but if I get cut off over here, it's pretty good value for him. So maybe I should just stay connected like this. Let's check this. He plays here, I play here. So if he plays here and I Hane, that's good. If he plays here, I block. If he connects, and I block. Is that a second eye? Looks like it is. Maybe. It's actually quite tricky. So I need to be very careful here. So first off, how many moves can I get away with? If I go here and he connects, am I okay? I play here, he plays here, I play here, he plays here, I throw in to take the eye. I'm losing it. Okay, so if I play here and he connects, I have to check that first. Every single move I have to check if he connects, am I okay? Because I don't have eyes. So I play here, he connects. I block. There. Seems okay. Okay, but what if he connects and then I go here? He pushes, there, cuts, Atari, there, throw in there. Atari, connect, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe not okay. So if I play here and he connects, and I block like this, and he does this stuff, I have to fix, and then he makes an eye. So maybe it's not okay. Is there any other option that I have? Any other option that I have? He connects. Let's just do it. I'm sorry to say that I have to just stay strong and keep him dead, because otherwise I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. Okay, it's reasonable. So I'm wondering if I made a mistake in this area, because he's... Okay, this is a mistake. I thought, well, maybe it's a mistake. I'm not sure. But if I get to connect here, I'm much happier. I thought he was going to be able to cut me off, and I wasn't sure if I could do something here or not. So I was worried I made a mistake in this area, but maybe it'll be okay. That's the Nobi. I am looking at trying to cut this, see if I can get any value out of it, but I don't think I can. Okay, but he thinks I can, so I'm just going to keep pushing and checking the connection. Just going to get as much value here as I can. Actually, it's Mie right now for me to Hane or me to block. So I'm going to push. It's kind of straightforward. And then I'm going to, yep, push again. And then I think taking a liberty here will give me options to cut. Alright, so he's going here. He's checking my connections. It's reasonable. So I'm going to Atari, because these are free exchanges for me. Actually, these might be bad exchanges. Because I might be losing points if I do this. Because unless I can take an I here somehow, which I cannot, so, and I can't take the I here, so this is completely alive. So just cut him off. And this is good for me. So even if he gets something down here, which if I was looking at if he plays here and I Hane and he plays here and I do the Vital Point and he takes, I have to kind of Nobi or jump here. And I feel much better knowing that I don't have to do that now because I'm connected here. If he tries to cut me, I can just Atari and connect out. Okay, so first check the cuts. Here, cut. This clamp is Sente, so I have to assume he has it. Actually, this N2 is Sente as well. So if I cut and he plays this one, and I take, he can actually go down. I block, and no, that's a bit 4. Okay, is that acceptable? It might be acceptable. It might be acceptable. It's dangerous. But this, if this dies, then it's acceptable. So I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it. I want to say that having a bit 4 in this is acceptable. Oh, it's not a bit 4. If he plays Q1 and then plays S1, he can actually live. But if this dies, it's still acceptable. And this is a ladder. I did consider that Atari. That's important to consider. But I saw that this is a ladder. So I can kill these. So this is a little bit dancing on the line, because I have to really be careful that this group doesn't die. Now, one thing I also really want to do is make sure I'm still getting the profit from this attack. So even if everything lives, I got these 2 stones. But of course he saved them, so now I think I'm much better off. But I have to really watch the life and death of this group. So even while I was doing all this attacking, I was really watching my connection versus my killing these 4 stones. And also checking the connections and forcing moves here. So I'm really watching the health of my group while I'm trying to do all this. And that's very, very important here. Yep. So I'm going to just stay solid and connected, and now these 4 stones are dead again. Alright, so he's going to Tanuki. He does have a double wing, so I'm going to immediately 3-3. But if this group is dead, probably I'm confident it's game over. I'm confident I can win now. So I just need to stay solid for the rest of the game. And just don't give him massive territory, and I should have a victory. So I'm gonna check my escape path first, because you didn't Nobi, so I'm gonna immediately check the proper move. Okay, so don't see anything that I can immediately do. Maybe a double Hane, but will I die in the corner? Possibly. So if I go here, he Ataris. I go here, he connects. I can't kill these 2 stones. So let's just go for safety. Okay, and go for safety. Okay, so I'm staying solid. I'm watching my defense first. Alright. Now, this should be in-game, because I don't think I can die. So if he cuts, Ayatari, he takes, and I Nobi, I'm alive, correct? There. Maybe not. Maybe not. So if I Atari and the Nobi down, it looks like I actually only have 1 eye, so okay, fine. He gets the in-game move. I wanted to get Sente, but I'm not willing to risk it if I'm going to die. Okay, so let's defend my left group. The right group should be okay with some connections right here. So I should be okay to leave this for a minute. But I am keeping an eye on it. This is my only problem for this group. But this one seems a little bit weaker to me at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to push up 1 more, because this is double Sente. Okay, and then check my eyes. Okay, is my group weak yet? I want to say it's perfectly okay. I don't think he can do anything to my group with my connection options here. So I'm going to trust my reading and just go play some forcing moves and get started on the early end game. Okay, I think the center's Dame. So we're just getting started on some early end game here. Okay, his corner is not alive, so this is more of a risk for him than me. Okay. I do need to start watching my connections, though. Alright, so if I defend, am I okay? I defend, and let's say he plays a table shape. Okay, my proper shape is here, but then he can run out. So what if I play here to take the liberties? He Hanes. I cut. He Ataris and walks out, and I can't block because that's a double Atari. Okay. Okay, so let's just connect. Safety first. This gets me an I plus connections. So I am okay. I really wanted to block, but if I get cut off, it's not worth it. Okay, this Atari is free. Connect. Alright, and having this will help me up here, so I'm going to play a throw-in. Actually, I don't even have to. I can just threaten to play a throw-in. If I don't have to lose a point, don't lose a point. Okay. And now let's go into our life and death. So step 1, reduce the eye space, right? Well, attack and defense, attacking would be unsettle, so I did that. I'm surround, I've already done that. So now we're at step 3, which is reduce the eye space. So now I'm just reducing the eye space. And this one just works, I believe, because I can just connect. So this just works. Which, this is an important one to remember. If you're on the first line right here, then when you play here and he blocks, you can just Hane and connect because there's no cut thanks to this one. It's a Self-Atari. So we're just winning with shapes right now. Alright, I won by resignation. So this one feels like I kind of crushed him a lot, but I want to emphasize that he didn't do a lot that bad. It's just I beat him because I was able to take advantage of his loose connections, of his loose shapes. And my shapes are much more solid. So this style is going to be something that's can be quite difficult to play against if you're not used to it. If you're unable to stay solid and take advantage of your opponent's weaknesses, this style is actually quite difficult to play against. And trust me, even at 5-Dan, I've been playing 5-Dan on Fox. Even at 5-Dan, the style exists, and it's quite difficult to play against, and quite frustrating, honestly, to play against, because you kind of defeat yourself if you can't punish them. If you can't punish their mistakes, then you lose. So this was me kind of staying solid and punishing the mistakes, and that's kind of why it happened. But I wanna reiterate that it's not because he's a bad player. He just has a style that's not usually recommended. And the style is to attack everything and take advantage of a lot of Aji and use a lot of reading to outplay your opponent. This is a style that can take you to 5-Dan. It is a style that can work. It's just not something I usually recommend because, one, it's extremely dependent on reading, and two, if your opponent counters it, you really have no options left to win. So it's not very dependable. So I usually recommend the classy approach, the basic approach, and using the basics to get to 5-Dan. With that being said, though, this style is something you're going to have to learn eventually. You're going to have to balance this style, basically the Aji, the reading, and all that type of stuff. You're going to have to balance that with your basics in order to get to 7-Dan. And I know this because I've been told this myself by professionals and high amateur players. If you want to get from 4 or 5-Dan to 7 or 8-Dan, you have to learn how to either read, if you're only basics, which this is my style is basics, you have to learn how to read and overplay a little bit in a proper way and balance those two. You have to learn how to take advantage of Aji in a very high level way. And on the flip side, if you're good at Aji and good at attacking, then you have to learn the basics. And in my opinion, it is going to be easier for you to learn how to take advantage of Aji and develop your reading than it is going to be to develop the basics once you're 5-Dan with one of these two styles. I think it'll be easier to stick with basics. So, I want to say and emphasize that even though it looks like that he played very poorly, I want to say that this is just a different style. It's not that he played poorly. Yeah, he didn't have a lot of basics, but he had a lot of aggression, a lot of reading. You can see he tried to take advantage of my group, and you saw that he actually broke in here and connected out. I mean, that was impressive. He was able to take away my base. The problem is he ended up hurting his corner in the process. So very easily I could have messed this up and he could have taken advantage here. Over here he was trying to do this, and if I had played a Hane and he crosscut, he could have potentially destroyed this area. So it's very high risk, high reward style. So I want to say that maybe I made it look a little easy, but it's actually a style that you're going to come across that you might find very challenging. So hopefully this game helps you understand how to deal with this type of style, and hopefully this game will actually give you some good mental habits of don't play moves if you think they don't work. I really wanted to play this Hane, but if I saw a way to counter it, and I didn't really see how to counter the counter, then I just couldn't let myself do it. And that's actually really hard to do, and I find myself doing this all the time. It's easier for me now that I'm playing a 4Q at a 5Q level to just stop myself and say, you know what, I don't want to take that risk. I don't want to take that. I'm not down by that much. But when I'm facing a 5-Dan and even one mistake can put me at a very serious disadvantage, it's really hard to tell myself, don't play that Hane. That type of mindset is actually really difficult to do. But with training and good practice and good discipline, you can get yourself to do that, and you can actually see it worked quite well. My opponent should have connected out, and I would have still had some forcing moves and had my corner, and I would have had my territory quite nicely. But you can see he overplayed a little bit, and I was able to deal with it because my shape was very solid and very connected. So keeping that in mind, I was able to deal with this very well and able to cut this group off and counterattack. However, if I was not solid and got cut off and let my area get destroyed, this could have been a disaster for me. So hopefully this really helps you learn how to deal with that aggressive style. But alright guys, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys learned something from it. And as always guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time.